Hi there. My Bible nugget today is from Luke 24, verse 36. And it says, "While they were still talking about this, Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, 'Peace be with you.' They were startled and frightened, thinking they saw a ghost. He said to them, 'Why are you troubled, and why do doubts rise in your minds? Look at my hands and my feet. It is I myself. Touch me and see. A ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you see that I have.' When he had said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they did not believe it because of joy and amazement, he asked them, 'Do you have anything here to eat?' And they gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate it in their presence. Imagine what it must have been like to be in that room. It must have been crazy being part of that. You're all standing together in a room, you're discussing about what's happened, you don't really know what's going on, and suddenly, right in the middle of you, is Jesus. This is a guy that you've walked around with, that you've followed for 3 years. Your life has been full on because of him. You know, things have been incredible around him. And here he is, he suddenly appears in the middle of you, and you're kind of like, what's going on? I mean, he's told you, but I'm sorry. I don't blame the disciples at all. I totally would have been kind of like, my mouth would have dropped over and I'm going, Jesus, what are you doing here? I'd be going up and going, really, is it you? I'd be totally freaked out. I'd be like, oh my goodness. Maybe some of the disciples mightn't have been so, surprised or whatever because they might have remembered the time that he raised up the little girl, or they might remember the time that he raised up the widow's son or something. Maybe if you'd seen something, you would have been there whenever he raised Lazarus and Lazarus came forth. Maybe you might have been a little bit more, your pump might have been primed a little bit more for witnessing somebody coming back from the dead. But actually having Jesus standing there with the marks in his hands and his feet, it must have been so surreal. Imagine walking and being with Jesus for 3 years. Yeah, look, I put my hand up. I bet if I'd been one of the disciples, I would have been just like Peter or somebody like that. Would be like, oh, okay, what's going on? I don't get it. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Imagine being in that room and Jesus comes and stands in the middle of you. Be like, wow, it's really true because it was prophesied, and also Jesus himself said it several times to them that he would rise again, and also that he would see them again in Galilee. So, yeah, fascinating stuff.